Good morning, good morning, good morning. It's Friday. It's 8:01 Central Time. I'm here. Hopefully you are there. And I'm your host. And we're going to celebrate women today. We're going to celebrate the journey that being a woman has meant for us. And it's going to be quite exciting. I just have decided it's going to be exciting. Yes, I've just put that on myself and I said, you know what, today it's going to be exciting. We're going to look at ourselves as women and kind of I've picked a woman I want to kind of celebrate this morning. So I'm going to introduce this woman to you, and some of you who are extreme scholars of history will be very aware of who this woman is. Others of you who are not, it's going to be new, right? And you'll be able to go do some research and do some learning and find out about this woman. But let me take a moment to introduce myself. My name is Lizzy Morris, and I'm here. I'm your host for Morning Inspirations. Lizzy, why do you do this Morning Inspirations? I do this because I believe if I can sprinkle some inspiration into your life and you'll be inspired, you'll be able to go ahead and sprinkle some inspiration in somebody else's life. And what does that mean? People will walk around being inspired. If people are inspired, it gives them the mojo they need when motivation runs out. Because many times motivation is extrinsic. It's outside of yourself. And it can be like a little drug that you got to go, I need a new shot. I need some more of it. And when it runs out, you're like, ugh. But inspiration is like a little seed. It keeps growing and it keeps feeding you from the inside. So it allows you to go through those times when things are a little bit difficult, those sticky times, those muddy times when things are hard. If you're inspired to keep living your life, if you're inspired to keep inspiring others and doing what you're doing and seeing how what you're doing is affecting at least one person, it allows you to keep going even when you don't want to. So that's why I show up every morning, Monday to Friday. This month, we're doing 8 o'clock. It's an experiment. I'm a scrummer, people. I'm a scrummer, okay? So it means I'm always running experiments until I find what I believe becomes the right result. When I see the right result, that experiment is over. And now I begin to experiment with something else in a different way, always inspecting and adapting. That's the way I live. It's the way I move. It's the way I think. So without further ado, we start every show with meditation. Why? Because I believe it's necessary to start your day with gratitude. So today, because it's Women's Month, we're being grateful about women. But once we go into gratitude, whatever comes up for you, I want you just to be in it, with it, and just allow yourself to be grateful. But because it's Women's Month, I want to bring to your attention being grateful for the fabulousness that is women. Yesterday, as a woman, I'm grateful for other women everywhere, that we can come together in sisterhood and support each other and grow with each other. Yes, this morning I am grateful for women everywhere. Yes, today I am grateful and full to the overflow with thankfulness that I can celebrate with women everywhere, that I can celebrate our triumphs. I can celebrate what others think is nothingness as our biggest victories. Yesterday, I am grateful that as a woman, I have something to celebrate, always, every day, and in every way. Yesterday, I am grateful as a woman. I can, in my place, hold my head up, hold my hand up, and say, hey, I have a right to be here too. Pay attention over here. Woman standing here on the platform. I'm here and I have a right to be here just the same as anybody else. I'm a woman and I have a place and I make a space to be me, a woman. Today I am grateful that every move that I make affects women in the future. I choose to celebrate that the moves I make are positive. The moves I make makes tomorrow better for young women everywhere. Women yet to be born, women still crawling around, trying to find their feet to stand, little women everywhere. I am grateful that they have come into being. Yes, I am grateful that as women, we can choose how we want to express our womanhood. And as women, young, old, in between, transitioning, we can honor each other's right to choose. And I'm grateful we come together as women. Today I am grateful and I am thankful that our womanhood has so many expressions of color, of style, of size, of volume, of dialect, of language. Yes, I am grateful. Today I will be grateful for women everywhere. Today I will be grateful that I can be grateful. I begin my workday with gratitude. I will be grateful. So glad we were able to take that time to just kind of center ourselves, to be grateful, to have a grateful meditation that allows us just to kind of be still and pause and put something in our mind to be grateful for. So what am I bringing to you today? What's the story I'm going to tell you? So the story I'm going to tell you today is the story of finding out the expression of a woman. Yeah, kind of finding out, like, what's the expression of a woman, Lizzy? Okay, where are you taking us this morning? Where are we going? Where are we going? Well, we've been talking all week, if you notice, and I'm going to bring it back to your attention, this fabulous little image that I've got, which I just love. Who are you now? Like, well, what is it? What's the frame? What's the frame around your womanhood? And who sets that lens? Who sets the lens of what you are as a woman? I really believe that lens, that dialing in has to be done by us as women, as ourselves. We have to do that dialing in for ourselves and figure out who we want to be. Well, in understanding who I want to be for the future, it's very important to look behind and kind of see the shoulders of women I have been stepping on to get here, because they've been kind of a ladder that's been propping us all up as women to get to the place where we are, where we have this voice, where we have this space and we can express ourselves and talk about ourselves and promote ourselves. There's all these things we can do today that we could never have done before. And I was reading some articles and it was very interesting because there was a point at which um, a lady had said, this is going back in like the 1800s, right? Had made a point of saying, we want to be equal with our husbands. So when you go back to that particular time and space, well, the people who had power and presence at that point was the white male. And the white female began and said, well, here's our first point of equality. We want to be equal with our husbands first. So whatever they can do, we want to be able to do it as well. Right? We want the right to be able to do these things. We want the right to be seen. We want the right to vote, right? We don't want to be just put up as some tokens. But that experience wasn't a collective female experience across the collective of women. Therefore, when the movement started, it didn't include necessarily women who looked like me or at all. It was just at that point for women who looked like the men, who were in power and in privilege at that point in time. So I thought that was really interesting because today we have such a fabulous pulling together of ourselves as women, and we didn't begin that way. This is why it's important to look at the past, not, as I say, to take the pain of the past, but to take the lessons of the past. How far could we have come had we originally all come together first as womanhood? We could probably today be a lot more further down the path. of the equality and the respect of women everywhere. Nonetheless, there are still women who wanted to be recognized and wanted to be equal because they had proven that they already were equal. So there's a fabulous woman, and most people know her under the name of Sojourner Truth because that's the name she gave herself. So I want to celebrate her today for the things that she did that enabled women everywhere to begin to come together and to begin to be able to actually be seen. So she's going to be my point of celebration today. So let me bring her to your attention. Now, what was so interesting for me when I kind of did a little bit of research on her, because I try to do just a little bit of research on the people I bring to you, was her journey of coming to herself and finding the inspiration for her intention. So she started out as a woman, obviously born as a woman, born into slavery. Her master had promised her freedom. She didn't get it. And so she decided to take it anyway. She's like, well, too bad you didn't give it to me. I'm taking it anyway. And she walked away. But in this walking away, in her journey, she found a purpose for herself, an intention. Her intention was to be an itinerant minister. So she became a minister and went around, inspiring people. But she didn't find that at the beginning of her journey. She found it midway. What is the lesson there? That as we do this thing called the journey of life, there are things we're going to come into. As we do this journey, we're going to discover things about ourselves. As we're doing this journey, we're going to learn about ourselves. As we do this journey, we're going to morph, we're going to change. And that's okay. So my favorite saying, who you were yesterday is not who you are today, and who you'll be tomorrow is not who you are right now, because regardless of whether you choose to recognize it or not, you're constantly always evolving. The world around you, the changes are constantly spurring you forward. So even if you feel right now, Lizzy, I really don't know if you're to ask me to articulate my reason for being, I really can't tell you about that. I haven't really thought about it that deeply. Well, why not? Why not take a pause and see what is moving you, what is pulling you, what is bringing you out, right? What is it that you feel a pull to? Like when you hear certain information, how does that affect you? When you read certain subjects, does that elate you? Does that kind of depress you? What is it that you're feeling yourself magnetized towards? There's an echo that each one of us has as a woman, a sound that we're to release, an intention that we're supposed to put out there. And we're supposed to put it out there loud and be unapologetic about it. But if you haven't yet discovered what it is you want to amplify and what it is you want to scream out there loud in everything you do, you want it mirrored, you want it echoed, the pause is necessary to kind of come together with who you are, where you are, and why you are. Who you are, where you are, and why you are. Because that helps you to find your intention and be able to articulate it so that you can express it to the world. Now, let's go have a look at her. She is very famous for a speech. The speech is Ain't I a Woman? And she gave this speech in 1851, and I'm going to read this speech to you. Now, let's look at where this woman came into the picture. She came into the picture at 1797. 1797. She came into the picture, and she left the physical picture in 1883. That's when she left the physical picture. Why do I say the physical picture? Because that's when she left life, as we know it, was in 1883. But her work, the things she's done, are still around for us today to read, to learn from, and to be inspired. Now, she was born Isabella Bumfrey. That's the name that was given to her. But she changed her name in 1843. Now, that's empowerment right there. That's a woman taking hold of herself and how she wants to be seen. She changed her name in 1843 to Sojourner Truth. Wasn't that amazing? So, in changing her name, she gave us an identification of here is my mission, here is why I am where I am and doing what I'm doing. Now, here is the speech. I'm going to pop my glasses on. And I'm going to read this speech. Okay. So let me bring it down just a wee bit. So I'm going to read this speech right now so that you can hear it. She gave this speech at the Women's Right Convention in Old Stone Church. Now, I'm taking the speech from the National Park Service. There's a few kind of interpretations of the speech, but that's where I'm going to take the speech from. Now, I just moved because I have a lot of visitors who are home with me, and I want to kind of dim down the noise for you. All right. Here's the speech. Well, children, where there is so much racket, there must be something out of kilter. I think that twixt the Neros of the South and the women of the North, all talking about rights, the white men will be in a fix pretty soon. What's all they're talking about? What is it they're all talking about? That man over there says that women need to be helped into carriages and lifted over ditches and have the best place everywhere. Nobody ever helps me into carriages or over mud puddles or gives me any best place. And ain't I a woman? Look at me. Look at my arms. I have plowed and planted and gathered into barns, and no man could head me. And ain't I a woman? I could work as much and eat as much as a man when I could get it, and bear the lash as well. And ain't I a woman? I have borne 13 children and seen most of all sold off to slavery. And when I cried out with my mother's grief, none but Jesus heard me. And ain't I a woman? Then they talk about this thing in the head. What is it they call it? And a member of the audience whispers, intellect. That's it, honey. What's that got to do with women's right or Negroes' rights? If my cup won't hold but a pint and yours holds a quart, wouldn't you be mean not to let me have my little half measure full? Then the little man, black there, he says women can't have such rights as men. 'Cause Christ wasn't a woman? Where did your Christ come from? Where did your Christ come from? From God and a woman. Man had nothing to do with him. If the first woman God ever made was strong enough to turn the world upside down all alone, these women together ought to be able to turn it back and get it right side up again. And now there is asking to do it. The men better let them. Obliged to you for hearing, and now old Sojourner ain't got nothing more to say. In our day, we would call that a mic drop. Just bam! Drop the mic. Isn't that a powerful, powerful speech? Not very long, but extremely powerful. Stating, ain't I a woman? Are you telling me I'm not a woman? In many ways today, as women, we're told that our womanhood isn't still, even when you're looking, that speech was given in 1851. Today is 2021. 1851, 2021. And we are still today as women having to fight for our place. And you may say, Lizzy, that's not something, gosh, you're depressing me. I'm showing you how far we as women still push. That's something to celebrate. It's something to applaud, that regardless of how much we get pushed back, we keep coming. You can't get rid of us. You can try to numb us, you can try to muzzle us. It doesn't matter. We keep coming. We keep coming. We're like an echo that won't stop. But the reason the echoes began is because of the women behind us. So that's what there is to celebrate, that they planted such a fabulous thought pattern that echoes on, that we can take that echo now, and it can come in my style, it can come through my articulation, and it can shift and change the next generation, giving them something to hold on to, that they can begin to articulate and style with their styling, until we get to the point where every woman is honored and given a place and a space to be all that she is and more. That is the brilliance that we're talking about. We're talking about empowering that, making that happen. So we've been given a month as women, the month of March, real close to spring, right? To say, here you go, women, take this and voice it, do what you want to do with it. So we need to take this stage to bring messages about ourselves to the populace, for them to understand that we still don't have every woman across the board, across the world, being honored and being treated and being given space and being welcome to every table as women who are in the Western world. So we still have work to do. We want every woman's cup to be full. We want every woman's opportunities to be laid in front of her, so that she has those opportunities, so she can take advantage of them, and so that she can be who she's supposed to be to the world. So I have this little thing that I wrote this morning when I was thinking about all this. Yes, I got inspired. And this is what I wrote. Today I choose to celebrate the beauty that is woman. Wise, opulent, momentous, altruistic, and necessary. I choose to celebrate the women who opened the door for me to stand and declare my strength, my femininity, my right to choose who, as a woman, I want to be. Yes, with gratitude, I will embrace me, and with grace and fortitude, I will stand with and for those who, like me, hold the banner high and say, I am woman, and today and every day, we will choose as a woman who we want to be. Today, I celebrate the beauty of choice, which I choose to use to be me. That is what I am inspired to say today. That is what I am celebrating. That today I can choose the woman I want to be. As much as we're still having to push forward and say, hey, give us our space, and here, pay us equally, I can still today operate in my choice to choose the woman I want to be. If I want to be strong, if I want to be flamboyant, if I don't want to be strong, if I want to be withdrawn, if I want to be quiet, I can choose my womanhood. Nobody else can define who I choose to be but me. And today, that power belongs to me. And I celebrate that. I applaud it. It's something to be happy about, that I get to choose the woman I want to be. So today, I offer you this space to think, are you being the woman you choose to be? Or do you feel empowered enough to actually take that choice on? Do you feel like you can have that choice? Do you feel it's yours, or do you feel it doesn't exist and it's not there? Is that how you feel right now? I want you to be able to understand you have the right to have your choice. It's your choice, and you have the right to have it. So it's very important that you take that pause. You give time to your choice. Mull it over, mosaic it, Put on it the colors, the hues that you choose, because it's your choice. So today, women everywhere, I want to celebrate you. I want to celebrate your right to sit at the table. I want to celebrate that you are united with other women who stand with you. In technology, we have groups now supporting us, women in tech. In my space in industry, we have women in agile. We're saying that we as women are making our space, we're making our platform, we're ensuring our voices are heard, and we're standing together. And yes, 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 yes. There's still growth. Yes, there's still room for growth. But that's okay that there's room for growth, because you know what? Together we're moving so that this echo is not just my echo, not just your echo, the intention that it is the echo of women everywhere. So, what is the frame? What are the announcements that we want to say? What do we want to put out there? How do we want to be seen? How do we want to be found? Where do we want to be found? Well, the first way I want you to find me before you do anything else, if you're looking for me, you can find me here. You can find me, Your Agile Lady, anywhere. YouTube, which I'd love for you to subscribe and follow me on YouTube. LinkedIn, make sure you do a follow. Facebook, and on Instagram and Twitter. Follow me and talk to me and tell me about your journey this month. I would like to hear about how you're journeying this month as a woman, how you are discovering yourself, what you're coming into. Because one thing above everything else, I believe to be true, is that our humanity is beautiful. Our humanity as a woman is beautiful. Your humanity as a woman is beautiful. My humanity as a woman is beautiful. Our humanity as a collective is beautiful. And I think it's important that we celebrate that and that we hold it safe to hand, and we make a point of looking at it and seeing who we are and what we are. We belong to this world. We belong to this world because we were born into it. And so this world is our stage. And it's a stage on which we man the sound with our articulation. We light the stage with our personalities. All of our personalities are different. Even when you choose frames to find the similarities, there are still little pointers that always make each one of us unique. So I'm unique in being me, you're unique in being you. And celebrating our uniqueness is so very important. To celebrate who we are, to celebrate where we are, and to celebrate what we are, and to celebrate who we are. The who is always evolving. Our who is always evolving, because who I am today is not who I was yesterday. And who I'll be tomorrow is not who I am right now, because there's circumstances, there's situations that are going to come across this path, this journey called my life, and they're going to cause me to have responses and reactions that will bring me to a place where I'm going to inspect and adapt. I'm going to take that pause and discover, who do I want to be now? And what is going to best serve me? What skills, what point of view, what biases do I have to get rid of? What biases do I need to use to empower myself to grow and be who I can be for my tomorrow? Everything we do today seeds an effect that will hit us in our tomorrow. So why not be intentional with it? Why not look to your tomorrow and decide what you can do today that can make that so much better? We have the ability to shift. We have the ability to change, because we're human. And as long as we breathe, and as long as our intellect is there, our brains are working, we have the ability to shape history in what it is we're doing today. So this month, Women's Month, ladies, let's do something to shape history for the women of tomorrow. Let's put out a word, let's do an action that they can say thank you to us for. That's what I challenge you with. As you celebrate today, ask yourself, what can you do today that a woman tomorrow can celebrate the same way? Thank you so much for being here with me. Have a fabulous Friday. Celebrate it, journey with it. Say out loud who you are. I'm woman. Hear me roar. I'm proud. I'm beautiful. I'm fabulous. Women everywhere, thank you for showing up and being you. Have a wonderful Friday. And don't forget to tweet. Our humanity is beautiful.